Welcome back to Live With, brought to you by Species Nutrition. Visit speciesnutrition.com. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today's guest is a new IFBB Pro. He just won the Royal London Pro Classic Physique overall. The man I'm talking about is buzzing the internet big time, Wesley Vissers. Welcome.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Wesley, you're from the Netherlands, huh?
Yeah, that's true. From the Netherlands.
North Brabant. Did I pronounce that properly?
Yeah. North Brabant.
Brabant.
And the Netherlands is it's a popular province, but it's hard to pronounce.
I want to get this out there. I want it to become a household name. I want you to become a household name. You wowed a lot of people. Like I said, I'm getting a lot of emails and a lot of text messages from people saying, hey, you got to check out this guy. He just won the Classic Physique overall. He's over 6'2". It seems like the Classic Physique guys that are really dominating lately have been really tall guys, and guys that probably would never have done that well in bodybuilding because of your height. Now, do you feel like, I should say, you found your new home in Classic?
Yeah, that's definitely true. I've always tried to find a classic division. There is classic bodybuilding. There was classic bodybuilding division in the Netherlands, but I was only allowed to weigh about 100 kilograms, which is about 10 kilograms below what I weighed on stage this time.
Right.
So that wasn't gonna happen. So Classic Physique had the ideal weight to height ratio for me, and the taller you are, the more you can weigh. So for me, that's the perfect class.
Now, obviously, when you started out bodybuilding, there was no Classic really. It was just bodybuilding at that point.
True.
And did you have this thing in your head? I'm sure people were telling you, oh, you're too tall for bodybuilding, you should do something else. Did you hear that from people a lot?
Well, I started out as a junior bodybuilder here in the Netherlands, so I have quite good genes, and I started quite early, so I won those contests pretty easily as a junior bodybuilder. But I did notice once I went away from the junior classes and actually went to the super heavyweights, right, that my length was a disadvantage because I was going into the super heavyweight class way too easily because of my height, and guys who are a lot shorter than me are a lot bigger than me automatically. So yeah, then automatically people were saying, well, it's going to be very difficult for you to match up to them mass-wise because you're so tall. So that was a problem indeed.
Yeah. Now, you obviously have a lot of muscle in your body, even for a tall guy, and you have good legs. It's not like you have bad legs. But when you saw Classic Physique come out, you must have been like, oh my God, they created the perfect class for me. This was made for me.
Definitely.
Now, what made you decide to do this Royal London Pro show? Obviously, it's the first pro qualifier of the year that they just kind of instituted since the NPC went into the UK. What made you say, hey, this is the show I want to do?
Well, yeah, as you said, this is the first show and opportunity that I have in Europe to really do a Classic Physique show. I've, of course, watched the Mr. Olympia 2 times in a row where I saw Classic Physique in America. But for me, living in the Netherlands, it's not just an easy decision to do one contest and go all the way to America to try it out. So when it's this close to home, basically only a 40-minute flight, I was just going to try it out. And since this class is something I've always looked up to and always wanted to try, I was just going to go all out for it. And it really paid off, so I'm very happy about that.
Which other bodybuilders in the Classic Physique division do you kind of relate to, like, physique-wise? Who do you think is like, hey, I really like this guy's physique?
Well, I think everybody really likes Chris Bumstead, the second place finisher at the Mr. Olympia last year.
Right.
And a lot of people have been saying that they want to see me next to him, and I really want to see that too. That's really my goal, to see the comparison, because it's very difficult to compare pictures. But he really has a very nice flowing physique, and it would be a dream come true to stand on the Olympia stage next to him and other guys.
Yeah. Now, I don't usually say this to guys right after they turn pro, but the reality of the situation is that you could be a pretty dominant pro right now, the way you look. Having just come off the win this past weekend, do you have any aspirations of jumping into a pro show anytime soon, or do you want to wait? What's the plan?
Well, the plan is that I want to do a pro show this year in America, most likely. And, well, of course, my goal is to win that show and then jump straight to the Mr. Olympia contest this very year. I want to do this as fast as possible because I do feel that I have the potential to really stand with those guys. So that's really the goal, and I'm just super motivated to do so.
Yeah, I mean, you're only 24 years old. Obviously, you're just getting warmed up in this sport.
Yeah.
Obviously, I have to believe that there's been a lot of people who compared you to Arnold's physique. Have you had that? Have you heard that?
That's true. Yeah. Ever since the first contest that I did, mainly because of my height,
Yeah.
they compared me to Arnold, but back then I was really thin still. But as I filled out my physique and I'm able to do the vacuum, able to do his kind of posing, they started comparing me more and more. And then I was like, I got to do something with this. So I looked at his routines, saw what poses that he liked to do, what transitions he likes to do.
Right.
And there's very few people who are, who dare to really pose like him. So I'm the one who's trying to pose like he did. And it kind of looks good in my opinion. And a lot of people think so too. So I'm embracing the comparison for sure.
Yeah, but you do. You do have a very similar, your chest structure, your rib cage, and your shoulders are very Arnold-like. Now that you have the little, the slight Netherlands accent, maybe you should try to get an Austrian accent to go with that.
Yeah, maybe.
You actually, surprisingly, you speak very English really well. Did you learn that in school, or how did you learn to speak so well?
Well, it's pretty funny because I did have good teachers at school for sure, but as a very young boy, I always watched anime shows on TV with subtitles, but they were always in English. So from 6, 7, 8 years old, I used to watch a show called Dragon Ball Z, which which is kind of also my motivation to be a big guy, to be a bodybuilder, because they were all very muscled in that show. But at the same time, they spoke English all the time, and with the subtitles, I kind of learned what each word means, and it kind of made me talk English very soon, very early on, and I just think it's a nice language to use as well.
Well, it's good for marketing purposes too for you, because obviously
Yeah.
the bodybuilding world is entrenched in the English language, of course. And
Yeah,
hey,
for
who
sure.
said cartoons are not good for you, right? You learned how to speak English.
Yeah.
What's the look? You're 24. A lot of guys. When I was 24, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I loved bodybuilding. Do you have any long-term goals at this point? What you'd like to do with this gift that you've been given?
Well, basically, I started my YouTube channel, Vintage Genetics, a few years ago, and I'm just trying to build it bigger and bigger, and trying to really, I embraced classic bodybuilding even before classic physique was around. So now that it has been around, I can see my popularity growing more and more. Selling my clothing line there, my supplement line there, personalized nutrition and workout plans. And I'm just trying, I don't have a concrete goal yet, but I'm trying to expand everything that I have right now further and further. And I'm pretty sure that's going to lead to something that I can do for the rest of my life.
So you're an entrepreneur as well, then.
Yeah, for sure.
Great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, you weighed about 2 weeks, talked about this. The cutoff for your height at 6'2" and a quarter is 237, at least on the amateur level. On the pro level, it's 247. So you can grow 10 more pounds, which seems unbelievable because you look like you have a ton of muscle already in your body. Where would you like to see some of that muscle go? Where do you feel what body parts do you feel that need to come up in size still?
Well, I think my legs overall can grow a little bit, although a lot of guys say, there's quite a lot of physique guys who have quite good legs, but they are kind of too good to fit in a classic physique division, according to a lot of people who I see in the comment section, for example. But I would like to add some more mass to the legs, a little more sweep, a little more hamstrings for sure on the side poses, and the back thickness can improve, and my tricep, especially from the front double bicep, the tricep hang can improve as well. I just want to create that perfect physique, but I do think with those extra 10 pounds, I can definitely make that happen.
Yeah. Let me give you a little advice. The guys who post in the comment section don't mean shit. Don't listen to anything they say. Listen to the judges.
You're right.
Listen to the judges. All right, so I know you have obviously you're targeting a show here in the U.S. and then obviously the Olympia if you qualify. You want to maybe give us a little sneak peek of what it might be? You think a New York Pro, something like that?
Honestly, I'm not sure yet. I think a contest at least before August, probably in July. I still have to find out exactly what show I can do, but it's going to be, at least before August, because I believe after August 8th, if you still do a show, then you cannot qualify anymore for the Olympia.
Right.
So I got to do a show before then, but I'm not sure which one exactly yet.
What was the, I guess you could say, the blowback in your country? In other words, what kind of a reaction did you get when you came back and after winning that big show? People pretty proud of you? You got a lot of people calling you. What's been the response?
Yeah, there was a tremendous response from a lot of people. A lot of people have been wanting me to see excel in a class like this, especially the people who know me competing in local Dutch shows. I've always been the odd one out because there's in the super heavyweight division, there's a lot of guys who are simply bigger than me, but it's very hard to compare those guys to my physique. And finally, I found a class, the classic physique division, where I can stand next to guys who have a similar structure, a similar posing routine. So, I can be compared a lot better. And a lot of people have mentioned that to me. And I had actually an appointment with a TV producer at a TV show in the Netherlands. And they actually talked about my victory as well. And that was yesterday on TV already. So that was pretty awesome too. So my recognition in the Netherlands is pretty much growing at a fast rate, which is kind of surreal to me still, but it's really feeling awesome for sure.
That's great. Congratulations on that. Those accolades.
Thank you.
Has Ed Connors called you yet?
I'm sorry?
Do you know who Ed Connors is?
I've heard of him, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised he hasn't called you yet. Ed
Not
usually
yet,
gives
not
you the
yet.
text. Ed Connors always calls me on the greatest and new talent out there on the scene. You'll probably get a call from him at some point. Ed used to own the Gold's Gym franchises in Gold's Venice. So you'll probably get a call from him. Because I'm sure he has a house out in California. You can probably go stay out when you go out there. Have you gotten any response from like the Arnold Classic people at all, to possibly do one of the Arnold shows coming up?
Not yet, not yet. I was actually looking into doing the Arnold Classic Ohio before,
Right.
but that was a little too early for me, and it was a big step to move to America right away, of course. But the Arnold Classic title is something I really do want to have as well. So doing a contest like that will be awesome as well.
Well, Wesley, I want to just wish you a huge congratulations. What you accomplished was monumental. You made a very big impact on our industry. I think a lot of people are excited to see you up on stage, on the pro stage at least, clashing with some of the top guys in the industry. And I think you're going to be around for many years to come. So enjoy the spoils of your victory. It doesn't last very long. People only remember what you did last, but I think you got a bright future.
Thank you very much. I'm honored to be on this show. I've watched you a lot. I've watched you for years. So it's a really privilege to be on this show and be interviewed by you. And thank you very much. And thank you to all my fans, all my followers who support me. I truly, really appreciate it.
All right. That's going to take us to the end of another episode of Live With, brought to you by Species Nutrition. Visit speciesnutrition.com. I'm Dave Palumbo. We'll see you next time.